Hello everybody, this is Tetrafolium, back to review the games from the Game 4 period. Some interesting matchups, to be sure. With me today is Jeff, the captain of the Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
So,
Alright Jeff, we're going to jump right into it. First game against, who's it, the Identity Thieves of Hearts versus Gholdengo's Pokemon team.
yeah. I watched this game live. This shit was a heater.
Oh yeah?
Not really, though. It was one of the most boring games I've ever watched.
Oh man. Alright, I have not seen this game, so let's start off like this. Okay. First of all,
yeah, that happened to be in the game. That was something.
okay, well, that gives me a pretty good indication of what's about to happen. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, I presume this is Zoroark.
It is.
Yeah. Hitting Grass Knot on Sandy Shocks just to Oko it. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then in comes Gholdengo to click Shadow
Eats
Ball.
a Shadow Ball.
That's... What if Zoroark stayed in and clicked Shadow Ball?
I don't think he had to outspeed Golden because he was worried about a Choice Scarf.
I mean,
thing he told me.
That's true, but Normal is immune to Ghost, so...
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, Make It Rain he was worried about.
I mean, Make It Rain. Definitely this makes the most sense if you're predicting that.
Yeah.
It's a split death drop. Switching out.
This Quagsire went crazy this game. It has a great matchup against this whole team. Just the whole thing.
Yeah, I guess once the Amoonguss is down.
Yeah, once the moon is down, this thing will just go crazy.
So this is actually Miss Magius, of course.
This one is, yeah, because that's Mystical Fire.
Sheesh!
Oh.
Big
And
damage. And just kills. Wow.
Jeez.
Miss Magius is fast.
Yeah, he ran a Scarf on it.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty much like clockwork here. Drain Punch is interesting on Quag. Probably what, for Chansey?
Yeah, I think it was for Chansey. And it was for a little bit of regen. Because he was wearing Assault Vest.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So if we go back this turn, Toxicroak in on Amoonguss. No Spore, which you'd think you'd love to see Spore at some point. And then just calling out the switch to Chansey. Now it's pretty much light work. You're down 3-6. If you're Cool Cam, it's kind of done.
Yeah, he's cooked. If he would have ran Dry Skin, well, first of all, he runs Dry Skin there. He lives at and he doesn't lose a mind. Second of all, he bounces back with probably a close combat and kills it. Also, if Cool Cam would have ran Shell Shock, not Shell Shock, Cell Smash, that would have gone crazy, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, if you Shell Smash and then you get close combated, that's probably really bad for you.
Yeah, but coming in on that, maybe he doesn't really know that he has Dry Skin, so he's just gonna hit it. He could have had a crazy play there.
Yeah, if he had Dry Skin, there's a good chance we were looking at a 6-0.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess he's Poison Touch, right, for the physical moves, getting a chance to poison.
Yep.
Not the worst, but I mean, you know he's got Cloyster. I don't know what other water types Cool Cam has off the top of my head, but you know.
I don't think much.
Yeah. Maybe you probably can't fault him too much. He didn't know.
Yeah.
So going close combat here.
A little weird because he didn't go his Zen Headbutt.
Oh my gosh. Zen Headbutt. Wait, why is Zen Headbutt and not like Psychic or Psyshock?
So what he told me when I asked him why he ran it is he said he wanted more damage and he thought it'd be funny. Which, it was funny, but it can also miss. I don't think Cut can miss.
Yeah, even Psycho Cut would have been
Enough
a
damage
safer
anyway.
option.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're speed booster Iron Valiant, uh, I don't see why you wouldn't be like a mixed set. You know, you're gonna probably want Shadow Ball to hit Gholdengo anyway. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a moot point because Chalk Flame's still set up to win.
Uh-huh.
Flamethrower, so that's Zoroark again. Plus, taking the damage from spikes makes it extremely apparent.
What's up?
Alright, so Klefki versus Cloyster. Probably going to see like a Thunder Wave here.
I think we want screens.
Oh. The screens is good.
Yeah,
Takes
screens is a
basically 0 from overheat. That's hilarious. Drain Punch to get some HP back. Ice Shard. See, I think one thing I keep seeing, like a lot of these newer players doing, is they keep clicking Ice Shard. I don't know. Maybe they think it's like the priority is good, but if they would just click the stronger ice move, in this case Icicle Spear, that probably kills this Quagsire off.
It does, probably definitely. It definitely does damage.
Mm-hmm.
It hits 5 times if he's running loaded dice, maybe.
Or Skill Link even.
Yeah, Skill Link, true.
5 times.
True.
Discharge for 0. Liquidation. So what is this? Assault Vest?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He ran Assault Vest to live through Gholdengo to make it rain.
Very fitting music. Has Cool Camus down onto his last leg. I wonder why not Water Absorb. Like, are you scared of Shell Smash, maybe? You have Unaware?
I don't remember. I don't think this thing doesn't get Water Absorb. I don't think.
No, it does.
It does. I'm gonna look.
Then Zoroark is gonna come in and finish off the game here. So Zoroark got like
Oh, it does.
1 million kills, huh?
It did. It had a good game. It had a good matchup too. Anyway.
Yeah.
Especially when it didn't even know. He didn't even know he was there.
Exactly. Let me see.
Yeah, 4.
Zoroark 6 kills total, 4 in that last game. Yeah, that would be a great contender for making the thumbnail if we didn't have a certain other game. Now that's not foreshadowing for this game, but we do see our guy JWK Jr. Jeff and his Shadow Wizard versus what is this team? The Vaultin Veluzas. I always forget what his team name is because he
never brings his mascot.
Yeah, he oftentimes does not bring the Veluza, which I can't blame him because Veluza's got a pretty horrendous matchup here. Well, it's not great, but you know, for an RU pick.
I prepped one thing for it, and that was I hit Sucker Punch and it dies.
Yeah, facts. and then he fillet aways to outplay.
Yeah. Damn right.
All right, so take us through a little bit of your preparation for this matchup.
So,
what are you doing?
Building my team this week, I decided to go. Basically, I knew I could beat him with 3 Mons. His team doesn't match up very well into mine at all, except for King Gambit, which is just the best thing in the format. So my plan was to bring Masquerada with a Life Orb, basically just big damage. It had a move on everything to kill every mon he brought. Great Tusk with an Assault Vest to live through. I think it was something stupid. I don't remember what it was, but I bring Jigauji because Jigauji had a really good matchup in doing with Choice Specs. And then I brought Slitherwing because it's Slitherwing. I actually forgot to put a last move on it. I only brought 3 moves, so that was funny. And then I brought the biggest bird, aka Braviary, because I wanted Tailwind and Defog just in case he set up spikes, and I wanted to be faster than most of his team. And I brought a new pick Houndstone because I thought it was funny. Also, Houndstone has Will-O-Wisp, which is good if he doesn't terrestrialize his King Gambit to 5.
Right, and then you also have Fluffy just in case you need that extra damage or extra defense against contact moves, like King Gambit, for example.
Yeah, and also Houndstone was brought for his new pickup in DD, which I would have one-shot with Crunch.
Okay. But he
Yeah.
he obviously didn't bring in DD to this matchup.
Sadly not.
It's kind of strange to make a trade for a Pokemon when you're not going to use it in the next matchup, right?
Yeah.
You think you would go for it when you immediately know that it's going to be useful, because you know you're giving up kind of the surprise factor against whoever you were going to bring it against first.
Yeah. I agree. I think that he really missed out because it would have fared well against my team because I have a glaring fairy weakness, and it's Dazzling Beams hurt.
Yeah.
So I had kind of a solution for it, but he didn't really bring it, so he missed out.
Yeah. Well, in any case, we'll see how this game goes. So who are you leading here?
I believe I led Braviary. I think. I could be wrong. No, I read like Great Tusk. For here, I was thinking about Gamora leading. If you let Gamora, I kill it because he's gonna run Scarf, so I was prepared for that. That's why I bought Assault Vest, because the Scarf Earth Power, I live it if I Draft Slice Steel.
Right, and then important to note that Glamora is not the Terra Captain, so you can always spin in front of it, and it can't go Ghost type or it can't go Flying type to make your Ground type move do nothing to it. But I presume you're gonna switch here.
Yeah,
right to
I saw it.
The Ice Beams.
Yeah, I ate that. I don't remember why. I ran a little bit of death just so I could outlive something, and it survived it with good health.
Yeah, the most insane thing to me is that he actually switches Gastrodon out here. Not because it's a bad play, just because I've never seen him do that before.
Yeah, he left it in last week to like get obliterated by
Grass Knot.
By Grass Knot. That's what. So here I said Tailwind. Yeah.
Going straight back to Great Tusk. Dazzling Gleam for a lot of damage. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Headlong Rush does a lot too. Wow. If that's how much Gastrodon takes from it, he really has no switch in for Headlong Rush.
No, he does not.
Wow. Like no well, I guess he's got Brute Bonnet, but like that's not a great switch in because you just close combat that.
Yeah.
Flying type would have been really big for him.
So here you see Great Tusk doing Great Tusk things.
Yep.
I pulled it out here because I was like, oh, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
This was a weird play to me. Dragon Tail was odd.
I mean, I don't know. It's not the worst play. If he gets Braviary in, then he basically gets a free Volt Switch.
Yeah, but I'd probably just bring Great Tusk back out.
Yeah, but then you're risking Dazzling Gleam to finish it off as well.
True. Yeah, he could predict that. I can see that. In the moment, I saw it and I was like, huh? Because it brought out my Slitherwing, which had Earthquake. In a few seconds, you'll see.
Yeah. And then just gets the kill there. Yeah, staying in is questionable, but also like who are you gonna switch to? Because once again, this team has like no really good ground resist. If he goes Brute Bonnet, then you just U-turn out on it. Which means that he's gonna have to get a bunch of plays right. It makes it really hard to play around Earthquake coverage. So switching back into Dragalge here. You're gonna wake up this turn. Oh nope, you're taking a dirt nap.
Yep. Shouldn't go back to sleep.
You're gonna
so I sacked 2 mons here. Yeah, I sacked 2 mons here because I realized that I know I can outspeed it with Tailwind, so I just need to get Tailwind up. I knew if I had Tailwind up I could win, so I just hit Headlong Rush.
He hits Headlong, yeah. You would think you might see like Focus Sash. Now, Speedy D, who uses Cerulege, he typically runs a Focus Sash set with weak armor for his boosting, but I guess you also don't want to take damage from hazards, so heavy duty boots is pretty big.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Staying in is I mean, I guess he has to make a judgment call about which Pokemon can win him this game, and it looks like Armarouge is pretty bad against all of the potential
I mean,
Pokemon that you have.
it does well against. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. No, it doesn't.
Hmm.
Because a Sucker Punch kills it, a knockoff kills it, because it outspeeds from Masquerada.
Yeah,
First Impression kills it
it may
from
live a hit from
Slithering.
Slithering, maybe. Probably
It
not,
might.
though. Especially not an
I s-
Earthquake.
yeah, not an Earthquake.
So yeah, you
So
just
yeah.
body bag the Armarouge and comes Brute Bonnet in close combat to just kill that. No Focus Sash. No. No nothing.
Nope, he ran Scarf, so he thought that it outspeed probably. It did not.
Dot dot
Here I
dot is
realize
right.
that he's gonna hit Sucker Punch. I just sack a Great Tusk, give him the kill, give him satisfaction, and
Yep.
then just
And
kill him
then
away.
first impression is gonna absolutely body bag on turn 17, right?
Yes. Turn 17 rocks.
Absolutely. Uh yeah, that was a tough game for Jet Frost here. I think like the thing that really does him dirty in this matchup is he just does not have a switch in for Great Tusk.
Yeah, I mean it's the mon you have to prepare for. If you
Hmm.
don't, it's gonna burn you.
Yeah, I think it might be worth. So I know that fire on King Gambit is somewhat common Terra type, but that's mostly to flip matchups against Volcarona. Maybe
Yes,
flying type would have served him a lot better in this matchup.
I think so too. Or even running an air balloon or something, just to give himself some sort of ground resistance against anybody's team, because he
Yeah.
gets blown up by it. He doesn't have a flying type, I don't believe.
Mm,
I'll look real quick.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
he's
believe
not.
so.
He doesn't have one.
Yeah,
So
but I don't know how much a air balloon not flying type would help against Slitherwing, for example.
it wouldn't, but it would maybe give him a chance. I don't know.
Yeah, and especially looking at your team, it's very weak to flying. With your top three Pokemon being weak to it. Also
Yeah.
Fairy, and he has no fairies anymore from the Gardevoir trade. It kind of just was an unfortunate matchup for him.
Yeah, my team's doing a little bit of a rebuilding phase soon to get some fix some weaknesses, but we're working on it before playoffs. When I don't want to go into playoffs with a glaring weakness to fairy and flying, two of the most important things I have on your team in
Right,
this format.
right, I agree with you. So next, we're gonna see the Azus taking on I'm sorry, what was his name? No, the Null Pointer Exception. That's right.
Yeah,
Um, so switching up the team this week, it seems, finally.
finally
Um,
he did something different.
right. This team composition is okay. Scyther's a little suspect, um, but I mean, it might be able to do something against Espathra or Crocodile, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
What mon didn't he bring that he usually does?
uh,
Thrazzle?
no, so I don't think he brought Salazzle. I think
Masquerain.
he didn't bring
Masquerain.
Masquerain. He didn't bring Gengar, and I think
Oh yeah.
Gengar might have been a good pick, for like a Scarf Shadow Ball to stop Dragapult. However, the Azus definitely have switch-ins. Like Crocodile won't take much from a Shadow Ball. Uh, Presumably Grimmsnarl could eat a Shadow Ball, though maybe not a Sludge Wave. And then Azumarill and Scizor both have the priority moves to deal with something Scarfed.
I
So,
agree. I think not bringing Gengar here was kind of a throw. With it has a good matchup into most of his mons, like
mhm,
Azumarill, like you said, Shadow Ball into Espathra and Dragapult if he scarfs it.
mhm. Although I could see Scarf on Toxtricity to make it outspeed everything, and then it's electric and poison coverage. Hits everything except for Crocodile really well.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
maybe that's why we don't see Gengar. Who's to say? Let's just get into this. I'm probably leading Crook into I don't know what
Paparaja
Arvo
probably
would lead.
to set up
Paparaja.
rocks, I think. That's what he
Yep.
would do.
All right, that
Yeah.
seems like we got it nail on the head. Although I would have maybe led Corviknight. It's probably looks one of the safest.
Yeah, it has a good matchup, but most of his teams, especially the ones he would lead,
Hmm.
a body press might hurt that Crocodile.
Yep. And we see a superpower into the Crook slot. That's crazy. And then U-turn doing 31. Is this an offensive Scizor? And
I think so.
yeah, I wonder if this is also an offensive Caparaja to be taking that much. I know it's -1 defense, but still. Just clicks Stone
Man.
Edge for 0 damage. Close combat to do also 0 damage, but I think that's ultimately fine. So you have a switch in for Scyther? Okay.
Sword Dance is a cool move.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
oh,
close combat from Scyther. I thought we were gonna see like a flying type move, like Aerial Ace,
yeah.
which would have done almost as much damage, but wow. So Scizor is gonna die here on a U-turn into Toxtricity. Yep, that brings Crocodile in. Switch to
Switch that
Baxx.
up. Ooh,
He's 52 from Earthquake. So what this tells me is that this Crocodile is not max speed or not out higher speed than Baxcalibur. Otherwise, I don't think you see a switch from the Azus. I would have just clicked Earthquake again. Either I pick up the Baxcalibur kill, or if Arvo gets 2 in his own mind, going to Caparaja, get a kill on that. Even if he goes Corviknight, you have plenty of good switch-ins for Corviknight. But now we're in with Azu.
he's gonna switch
And
back out.
Azu's just
Ooh,
gonna belly drum,
that's not good. Letting him set up Veludrum like that with switching is just
and that's a
lethal.
kill. And does he have a switch-in? No, I think all of his Pokemon
No.
die to Aqua Jet, except maybe Corviknight.
Yeah, Corviknight hits it a little bit, but I think now it does.
But yeah, it's dead there.
Like that.
Rocky Helmet down to 18. Yep,
So
that dies. Wow.
It's
We're not
looking
even
like
gonna
a.
get to turn 17.
No.
That dies. And this dies for sure.
Oh yeah. Obliterated.
Yep. And then it's Jover.
Yeah, I think just giving that Azumarill a free turn just to hit Veludrum was just lethal. Like, well, you see, I think you can't switch out in front of it. You can't give it time.
So we see the Earthquake hard into Azumarill here, probably to stop an Ice or a Dragon type move, right? And you go Caparaja. So yeah, I
Who's
think
his Terror Captain? Is it
it's
Baxx?
Baxcalibur. Yep.
What's
There's
his
Terra
type
Dragon,
ground?
as we saw.
Oh, he's Terror Dragon.
Yeah. His other
I mean,
option was
that's
Terra Ground, which is not great against Azu either. But I mean,
no.
a Terra Ground Earthquake, like that probably kills.
Yeah, I mean, it probably good damage. Even a Glaive Rush. No, Glaive Rush can't even hit Fairy type.
Yep.
Doesn't he get Freeze Dry?
I don't think so. And even if it did, you don't want to run
It's
special
special,
moves.
yeah.
Yeah. I think switching out Caparaja here is probably a throw. I think you have to click some move, probably Iron Head, to do some damage. As we see, Corviknight probably lives an Aqua Jet, based on the fact that the Azus don't go for it, which means that it gets a Brave Bird off for Chip, and then Azu will take the Rocky Helmet for Chip. That actually might have killed off the Azu, and then it would have been a 4-on-5 situation, or a 4-on-4, maybe, because the Corviknight would probably die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
doesn't he switch out the Toxtricity here?
No, he just dies to the Aqua Jet. He die to Aqua Jet. So now,
Yeah.
in this situation, to try to save it for yourself, I think you have to go Arcanine here, to get the Intimidate, and then you probably sack either Copper or Scyther. You could go to Arcanine and get another Intimidate, get it down to ×3, and then maybe Corviknight lives a hit, or maybe Baxcalibur lives a hit.
You gotta play around it.
Yeah, you just have to you have to do something, and I think Arvo kind of just played into the loss. Like he didn't put up a fight after that point. So yeah, I'm not saying that he necessarily would have won if he played right around the Azu, but it would have definitely given him a chance.
Agreed.
Whereas he kind of played for no chance. So yeah, pretty dominant by the Azus. We're always going to see Azu get a sweep against a player who doesn't know.
It's once per league. It's once per league. We give somebody who doesn't know about Azumarill, and then he just sets up belly drum and hits it. I think it happened to me the first time, and it never happened to me again because I throw everything at it when I see it.
Yeah, I know that Jet got swept by it 6-0.
Yeah,
in person.
he did. Oh yeah, in front of him.
Yeah. All right. Finally, we've got Whale Cookie, your arch nemesis,
don't be
against PDD.
I get nightmares from that game. Please.
Yeah, I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. That was a great carry job by yours truly. In any case, let's see if Whale Cookie can repeat the magic. This is a pretty good team, I'd say. Speedy D has struggles against Specs Magnezone. He doesn't really have a great switch in for Flash Cannon or Thunderbolt, whichever move that he chooses. He could do really bad damage to all of these Pokemon. You have Fortress, but Fortress gets trapped by a potential Magnet Pull. And, you know, Dragonite also very strong. But you can never count out a Cerulege.
I think Bitter Blade goes crazy.
Exactly.
Especially against somebody who doesn't know what it does.
Exactly. So leading Greninja here,
God.
Ice Beam, lives on 1. I wonder if that was EV'd to live on 1, or if that was just a lucky roll.
I don't know. I think it's just a lucky roll.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is crazy good damage. That's I think that's a Scarf Greninja, if memory serves. And then taking the Body Press here. Gonna have to Volt Switch out. Eject button. Which keeps... Interesting thing about Eject button is that if you use a Switch Out move, like a Volt Switch against it, you don't actually get to Switch Out. Not something that everybody knows, but really cool tech. I wonder what would have happened if he would have just clicked Thunderbolt. Well, I guess you have Sturdy with Fortress, so that doesn't really help you.
I think Sylveon probably takes a Thunderbolt anyway. It's pretty bulky switch defensively.
But Fortress might not be able to switch out because the Magnezone might have Magnet Pull.
It's true.
I think it would have played out basically the same. The Fortress would just be on 1 HP instead of 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Alright, we're just gonna trade rocks here. Ooh. So, you see Whale Cookie attempting to Whirlwind out the Hippowdon, but the Hippowdon's faster, so it Whirlwinds out the Ting-Lu.
Yeah, that's a big play because that sets up Magnezone in not a favorable position. He has to switch out now and he gets a free shot on what he wants.
Yep.
Even though he messes with flying type still.
And it looks like we don't see a Stealth or Stone Edge from Hippowdon.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, why didn't he just hit Stone Edge?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So he goes to Rotom to force a switch out, I guess, or to bait, or maybe to bait an Acrobatics into Ceruledge. Either way, pretty good. If it were me, I would honestly would have went Terra Fighting and started bulking up right in front of the Ting Lu. Being Terra
Only thing I
Fighting.
would worry about there is about the whirlwind. He could just whirlwind it away, and then you get yourself back in 0.
That's true, but I think Cookie might just click Earthquake.
It's true. He runs a scarf on a sash on that Sword Wedge, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that would have been a good play. You can French kill it with your blade.
Plus, you could even, if you go Terra Fighting to shed the weakness, and then you get +1 defense off of bulk up, then you're taking basically no damage. Though maybe he wants to stay Ghost type for Dragonite.
It's true.
In any case, we see a switch out to Sylveon. Sylveon takes 49, so maybe a dirty roll to kill, but you don't want to get hyper voiced, so.
It's like they're wishing off into the Magnezone. That's good play.
Magnezone comes in, and then Rotom comes in, so both getting a lot of HP back. We're gonna see what, a trade a Volt Switch or Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt. Yeah, I don't know about Thunderbolt. I don't think Thunderbolt is the best play. I think if you want electric damage, you probably Volt Switch to try to get yourself a better position against like maybe a Roaring Moon or a Ceruledge, or you Flash Cannon trying to predict the Hippowdon. But this might be a specially defensive Hippowdon, so it might not take that much. Right, in comes Gren. We see turn 15 rocks, which is close, but not quite.
Close, but
misses the Hydro Pump.
That's
pretty
hurt.
big because I think
Yeah.
Hydro Pump will 2-hit KO from this percentage. Protect. Definitely shedding the damage here from my stall team from Speedy D. Maybe trying to burn some sleep turns. Ceruledge is in now. So it's going to fire off an attack here for sure. Bulk up. Okay.
Bulk's gonna hurt.
Something that we could have seen happen probably
It doesn't
how many
kill?
turns ago? No, it doesn't kill because Ting Lu is super bulky.
Jesus, that's insane.
An Earthquake to give it a weak armor boost. Here comes Dragonite to eat the close combat. Very good. And then you can just extreme speed for the kill. You don't extreme speed for some reason. You Dragon Dance.
Dragon Dance in front of it. Okay.
That's fair. And then you extreme speed. Okay. I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's a play. That's a good play. It gives him a little bit of a boost at the same time as also killing the thing in front of him.
Yeah, but you don't kill the Roaring Moon here, which is very unfortunate.
Thinking about it, why wouldn't have I guess he's predicting he'd go normal and then one-shot him instead of hitting Bitter Blade.
Yeah.
Give him health back.
I think Cookie made the right play to not Terra at all until you're gonna click Extreme Speed, because you resist the Fire type and the Fighting type moves from Ceruledge, and the turn that you go Normal type, you're gonna be immune to Shadow Sneak. So I think he played it perfect with the Terra, but now that you've got a Dragon Dance, and actually I think getting a Dragon Dance is a really good idea here, because then you can click whatever coverage move you have to kill Roaring Moon. Like for example, if you have Ice Spinner, that probably kills Roaring Moon because super effective damage. Then Dragonite potentially gets a sweep here. It depends on how much damage the Hippowdon takes. But you're in a really good position if you're Cookie, and you get and you play for the most damage against your opponent. Goes for a Hydro Pump. potentially greedy. If he misses that, that would be bad.
Yeah.
But he doesn't Hydro Pump the Sylveon, so I think what is he saving for Hippowdon?
Think so?
Must be.
Is a lot.
If we get a Wake Up here, that's fine for Florges. Doesn't wake up. Wish would be really good right now. Protect is also fine. Get Whirlwinded out, and then this is probably going to be a kind of boring game here for a second. Sack the Tinglu.
He still has Drift Bloom on it. He could have switched in Drift Bloom there and got a...
Could have.
Something
For
good.
sure. Hits Giga Drain. Very greedy, because you're just going to die to Earthquake, and now the Wish is wasted.
Yeah, you protect there and take the Wish.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. And then also a dodge again from the Sylveon. That's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another
oh my
one.
gosh, that's just insult to injury.
God.
That one probably didn't matter as much as the first one, but wow, Specs Flash Cannon doesn't kill. That's insane. But yeah, Sylveon can get a free protect here. And then you get a free switch to probably Hippowdon, yeah. And then it's pretty clockwork from here.
Just sweep him up. Those
Unburdened.
Hydro Pumps really lost in the game, honestly.
I think they mattered, right?
Yeah, they definitely did.
The game would be a lot easier for Cookie if he hit all his Hydro Pumps, but I think really going for extreme speed versus the full health Roaring Moon and dying when you I'm gonna guess that he had either Dragon Claw or Ice Spinner, which would have done more damage than extreme speed. Like I think that's the turn that really lost the game. Because he gets a kill on Roaring Moon for free, and then he might get another kill. Depending on what Dion, or excuse me, Speedy D tries to do. But yeah, it's Jover. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah. Should do his pants down now.
Yeah. He goes to Sylveon on the Strength Sap. Kind of a bold play, but funny. Alright. Loses the Sylveon. Well, I guess it's not that bold to play because Hippowdon can't touch Drifblim. Now it comes down to, does Rotom kill? It does. And that definitely seals the game up, yeah. Close game. I think Cookie definitely had a chance. I think if he hit his Hydro Pumps, he would have had a better chance. But even still, I think he could have had a win. But well played by Speedy D, and also pretty well played by Cookie.
Yeah, I think that Cookie had a good game, just lost because of the Hydro Pumps and a couple other plays, but he's getting better, and that's all that really matters with all the regular season games. Just learning how to play.
Right. Okay, so that kind of sums that up. As we see on the leaderboards, only one captain who has not got a win yet. We'll see if that will change. I hope so. It would suck to go 0-9. Still a two-way tie for first place.
We won't see it come to an end for a little bit, I don't think. I think coming up, both of them have pretty easy games going into when they play each other week 7.
Yeah.
Sorry, week 9.
I for sure agree. A little bit of a race for the top 5 here. If it looks like 4 teams vying for 3 spots.
Yeah, myself included in that one. I gotta stop throwing games and start winning.
That's definitely true. The next thing that I like to do after all the games is look at the trades that happened, if there were any, and assess them.
I think there was one. It's Cryogonal, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, the Grafted Grafaiis, they drop Bronzong for Cryogonal. I
Oh,
think
and
that,
there's Muck.
yes, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. I think Bronzong for Cryogonal is good because this team has no spinner at all. Well, I guess it has treads. Um, and Talonflame might get defog. I don't remember, but
I believe it does.
Cryogonal does get rapid spin, so that could help. Um, Ice type presence, I don't know. I guess it helps.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean I think it's just for like, being a spinner, and also it's kind of it has a good speed stat, so it might create speed tier for him and keep his team as
oh, that's
faster.
true. The 105 base speed is pretty important. Um, I mean, Bronzong wasn't really doing much for him, so I can't complain about the idea. Um,
It's,
Cryogonal, I mean, it might help for a matchup. I'm not immediately seeing where it's going to be great, but
I mean, he picked it up going into my game against me, and I really didn't plan on it coming, so I really didn't see it as a threat against
mhm,
me. Maybe it just kind of is it outspeed Masquerada? No, it doesn't.
no. So
So
I don't know. Maybe he thought it would be good against you. I don't know. Um,
you never know.
Next is Electros for Muck. I think that's a good trade. Muck is a non-levitating poison type, so it'll absorb toxic spikes. Um, so that just helps out. Means that,
It puts less weight on his Scizor too.
yeah, exactly. The
It doesn't seem
Scizor
clever.
doesn't necessarily have to defog away every single toxic spike that goes up. So could be helpful for the matchup against the vaulting Veluzas. I mean, I have toxic spikes on my team. You
I do
have
too.
toxic spikes on your team, although you already played.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Which maybe he got PTSD from when his Zoom roll died to my toxic spikes, but now he wants to fix it. But
Yeah, that was funny. The
yeah,
greedy
he
ass
tried.
play by greedy ass
Truly.
person.
Oh.
Yeah, and Electros was also not really doing much for him. Like, it potentially was a switch into ground types, but uh, we do have Arboliva on the team, so that definitely helps with ground types, especially Earthquake.
Agreed. It
So
gives him a nice poison mod just in case he needs it.
yeah,
Especially with textbooks running around most of the league. Some people are running it, some people aren't. So having
yeah,
that clutch
for
you
sure.
can use to bring the games is good. And it's also a decent attacker. It's a pretty good physical attacker. I think it's physical with Gunk Shot.
Yeah, and then you could run Curse. You could run. I think it gets Toxic Spikes itself, so that might
I
be
believe it
good.
does. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so not a lot of moves on the trade, but some two decent trades. Um, See if anything else happens. Since the last game period, Volcarona has actually been banned from OU. Thoughts on that?
I think that I think it should be banned. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, it's a weird ban for OU. Just as a metagame overall, I don't really follow OU that much, but I know that I know Volcarona has been killing everything in it because of its type, and now in OU for us, it really isn't the same because it wasn't really a powerful Uber then. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's a weird play.
Yeah, I it may be the case that we didn't hear a lot of talk about Volcarona prior to Pokemon Home because the council just didn't want to do any more moves before Pokemon Home came out. Since Pokemon Home was going to change the metagame anyway, so it's possible Volcarona might have been broken beforehand, but like it wasn't top 10 in usage statistics the month prior to Pokemon Home, uh, which doesn't mean everything, but that means something, I think. Um, it also had a lot of uh, potential counters with the unaware Pokemon, who are really bad in the current OU right now. They all of them get body bagged by Ursaluna, to some extent Sneasler, to some extent Hoopa Unbound. So you're not seeing a lot of the unaware Pokemon right now, which maybe it's kind of addition by subtraction. You get rid of the counters, and Volcarona is crazy good now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think that it's not really gonna affect us as much. I mean, we could make you ban it and see what happens and pick up Iron Moth, but I mean, it just gives you a better mon. In my brain, at least, I think Iron Moth's a little bit better. But
Oh, you think Iron Moth is better?
I don't know. I think it has a better typing. It's more fun.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind when I come to play your team.
Yeah, you can bring the poison type. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think how we've ruled it is, well, it was drafted as an OU Pokemon, so it's an OU Pokemon.
It's fair.
Yeah. So, yep, that pretty much sums up this whole week. Now we've got an overview of this. It looks like you've actually played your game against
I have.
the
It was a hard fought game, but you guys will see it next week.
Yeah. Wow. Spoilers, I guess. But any other matchups that were looking good for this week?
I'm excited to see the Bulkin Bloons versus the Vaultin Veluzas. I think that could be a close game. I think that if they bring certain mons, it'll be close. If they don't bring certain mons, it won't be close.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good game. It'll decide very heavily for seeding, I think.
Yeah, I think
it could be major in seeding the playoffs.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I also like Null Pointer Exception versus Identity Thieves, because they're both kind of towards the bottom of the draft league right now, so we could see one shooting up to get out of the play-in tournament.
I don't even know how playoffs is gonna work.
I think
gonna do a play-in.
Yeah, I think what we decided is that the bottom four are gonna have to play each other to play into the tournament.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah, so some great matchups for the bottom four, I think. But as it stands, this is probably to decide who's going to the play-in and who might be getting out of it.
Yeah, could be a big game for both of them.
Yeah, the other two games, unfortunately, are nothing of note. Very clear winners for each of those.
I mean, Dion could give you room for your money. You act all cocky, but he has some cool mods.
Yeah, he's got 5 cool mons. He's bringing a 5 Pokemon team. 5 of his picks are trash.
I don't know. Dion has some fun mons on his team. Roaring Moon goes crazy. He just has to play him right.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I've definitely got something cooking for that. Yeah.
What's the seeding? The standing so far.
Let's see. Looks like a 2-way tie between the Azus and I. Then next two are Speedy D and Alex. And then you and the Bulkin Bloons. And then a 3-way tie between Identity Thieves, NPE, and Vaultin Veluzas, and then Gholdengo's got to get on the board.
Yeah.
So, I think we could see a bit of movement. I think we're definitely going to see movement in this middle four.
Yeah, I think that it matters on who's played who so far. Like, some people have really easy beginnings. Like, I know for sure Dion's played a lot of the newer players so far, so he has to start facing some better teams soon. And somebody like Alex has played a lot of like mixed teams, so he might drop or fall. And hopefully I rise because I'm throwing.
Oh yeah.
A lot of games.
You've had some tough matchups, but you haven't had to play me yet, so you can count that one as a loss.
That's an easy win. That's an easy win. Come on.
Yeah, we'll see.
Wait till great test runs through most of your team.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Just kidding. We'll see.
Yeah, as it stands, I think we're having a pretty productive league. Hope it keeps going well, and we'll see you all next time for my game against the Macon Steppas.
Oh, yeah. See ya.